Okay, so we have another Wintemp from our friends at, obviously, Wintemp. This one is another tankless electric water heater. I have another one already, an 8 kilowatt, and it's been working for almost a year now. Absolutely flawless, with zero problems at all. Connects to the app and all that good stuff. And this one is different. This one is 13 kilowatts. Yes, it's a little bit bigger, but that does a better job. And this one, I will be connecting it for the main line that goes to the dishwasher, to the clothes washer, and to 2 sinks that you can wash plates and hands and all that. So that's quite a lot, but don't forget, you never really use them all at once. But even if you do, this should do a clothes washer and all that stuff. Well, we're gonna test it later, but that's at least my plan with it. Again, full disclosure, thank you to Wintemp for sending this one over. Absolutely appreciate it. Let's open it up and see what we have in the box. I really love the boxing, how they do it with a handle, almost like you get a laptop. But it's actually better than a laptop because what's last time your laptop has heated water for your house? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, inside, yep, just like the other ones. It is really well wrapped and well put together. And we have the user's manual, together with the screws and with the water filters. Do not forget these. They're very important. And there's nothing else in the box. Okay, besides that, of course, we have anchors and screws and the, of course, instructions manual. That is standard. Okay, let me take this really good wrap. I'm impressed by that, actually. They do always a great job on wrapping things. Let me take this from this side and take it out. This bubble bag. I am a big fan of these bubble bags. Oh yeah, that is screaming quality. Okay, this one's a little bit heavier than my other one. Well, I mean, this one's 13 kilowatt, the other one's 8, but it seems pretty much the same in design. You don't really notice right away any problems. And here we start with a on and off button, the centigrades and Fahrenheit. You can switch those degrees, plus and minus, and that is it. And you can hold for extra functions and all that good stuff. They're all laid out in the manual. Really beautiful. And here on the bottom, we have the inlet. Inlet is always the blue part, and the outlet is the red part. Red, of course, is the hot, because it goes from this inlet here, goes through the elements, and comes out hot. Simple, that it doesn't get any simpler than that. And if I take this out, let me just check something real quick. Yep, it is wet. That is a sign that it has been tested. I love that. Always, when you buy especially tankless water heaters, check if they're wet on the caps. I know it doesn't sound like something you probably deal with daily, but if you install a lot of them, you start learning the tricks of the trade. And yes, they're both wet there. That means it has been tested. So I'm not just taking something and, taking my luck. Nope, this is actually working. It says open here. And what that means is that you take this screw off. We're gonna do it actually right now, and you lift here. It's like a little notch right there. I'm not sure if the camera will let us see it. Yep, right there. Just lift from that. That's what this open here means for this corner right here. Okay, let me take this out and show you the layout and how it's gonna be wired. They're actually really easy, surprisingly easy to install. But I have to tell you, if you never installed one and you're not familiar with electricity and all that good stuff, please call an electrician and a plumber, in that case, to make sure that you install it properly, because you don't want to install this the wrong way or put a circuit breaker that is smaller than recommended. For example, this one is recommended to be 70 amps. I'm going to install it on a 60 amps because that's what I happen to have, but I will upgrade it down the line. But if you put, for example, a 40 amp on this one, God forbid, you'll blow it. It'll just keep flipping it down because it's rated for 60 and 70 amps. So let me open it up real quick and see what's inside. Do we have cookies or not? And just like it said, pull from this corner. Just pull gently. Don't be shy. You can use a flathead just to pry it open if you want to. Just make sure you don't break it, and boom. And just like that, you're inside the money shot. Now watch out under here. there is wires, because of course this board and these capacitive buttons have to connect somewhere. So just open it lightly, and as you see, that's what I'm talking about. Now let me disconnect this real quick, just like that. And in here, we have the good stuff. It is actually very well labeled. Let me see if you can see it right there. Has these little arrows. That means 2 lines and the neutral, which means line 1 goes right here, line 2 goes right here, and neutral right here. How that works, at least here in North America, I don't know, in other countries probably it's similar, but here's North America. We get 110 volts inside the house, but up to the house on the main panel, we actually get 240 volts. Or yeah, 240 volts and 120 inside. Because when you put, if you ever seen how we have those breakers, some are single pole and some are dual pole. Dual pole now has 2 of these lines because the bars come from the main, 2 lines, and then they split inside the house to get the 120 where needed. But if you put a breaker that is dual pole, then you're having 240 volts. And that's what we do here. So when you get the wires from the breaker, 70 amp breaker in this case, you get line 1 here, line 1, 2, line 2 here, and neutral right here. Neutral has a sign of ground on it as well, but I think most of the homes are already merged, at least mine is, so it will be the same here. Here we have a reset button. This is more for an emergency if you need to. You click this to reset the whole circuit here, and besides that, it is seriously that easy. There's really nothing to scream about. Here you have your Wi-Fi module. Here's the control module and the chip inside there. Connects to the board here. You have the board that does the control with the temperatures, with the pressures. You have MOSFETs under here. You have the bars to connect to the heating modules that are right inside here. And that is very easy. And of course, the main wire of you'll see it's quite a thick wire, comes through here. Now how you do this one is actually very easy. If you want, you can take this way like I did. You snip off, there's a few lines you can see right there. Yep, usually I snip it to the 3rd line. This is more to insulate it from any potential dust and all that stuff. You snip it there, route the wire through it, bring the wire in, and you can put this right back in here with the wire, or you can put it separate with and put the wire in however you want. Unscrew this bridge right here. This is a holder bracket right there. Unscrew the bracket, put the wire under it, of course, because you must put it to hold. And then of course you put the line 1, line 2 and neutral in here. It cannot get any easier than this, in my opinion, at least that I've installed so many of them, and this has become like my bread and butter at this point, even though I don't do it professionally for money. But for myself, these are very easy. And let me put this back in really quick because we're going to have to go and install it. But for now, let me show you the back of it and how you hang it. It is actually very easy. Place this left side first. Just make sure you plug in the wire and boom, you are in the money right now. So on the back of it, that's where the main wire comes in through here from the 70 amp dual pole breaker. Keep that in mind. 70 amp dual pole breaker because you need 240 volts. And it hangs right here and right here, just like most of the water heaters. Let me see if there's a template here. Usually Wintemp are really good with that stuff. Yep, we have this template right here. This template is not just to show you what to do. You have 2 screws here and 1 screw right here. And it is very easy. You just open, as you see, these line up perfectly with the screws here on paper. And that is it. You mount these 2 screws in and you hang it on. Now, it cannot get any easier than that, but you can flip it the other way if you want to. These are stickers. If I know where I put a 3rd one. Yep. Right here, as you see, really easy. You peel these 2 off in here, put this on the wall so it stays there, and put your little screws on. How much easier than that can it get? It is really nice, and in my opinion, it's worth every penny because I have another one that I told you, 8 kilowatts, and it's been running perfect ever since I got it. It's been almost a year now, I think, if it's not a year full. Absolutely not even a single hiccup, and I can vouch for that personally. So let's go install it and see what happens. That's gonna be the beauty of it. Really like it. And this is the laundry room / auxiliary room, and I'm gonna put it right there. That paper I told you, just put those sticky things on the wall, and you'll have the pointers there where you would put the screws to anchor it up. And in this case, it's directly on some sheetrock or whatever is behind there, and I'm gonna put 2 screws really quick on it so we can actually hang the heater right there, and it will look really beautiful. And after that is done, we are ready to just throw the heater in there if we want to. So we grab it just to see if it actually works. Yep, the light is reflected from the capacitive buttons, but they are not on. Obviously, always. I actually took the entire breaker off. Not just turned it off, but took it off the brake panel just to make sure. And here is trying to put the wires in. And those wires are going to be thick here because, you know, we're dealing with 70 amps. So you cannot go with small wires. They'll burn faster than you can say it. But basically, it is the same theory that they go from behind on top right on that hole. And you have to pre-bend it a little bit like I'm doing here. So it comes to the rails there, and we can just make sure to put them to the bus bar or whatever you want to call it, or rail, so they connect. As you see, I just put them through that white rubber that it comes with, and I'm gonna put them really quick in the rails that they're supposed to, and we should be pretty good to go at this point. And that part is now done. Okay, let me just hang it back there. Boom. So if I can put it back in, yep, right there. And we are good to go. As you see, line 1, line 2, and neutral. Neutral being the white from outside, and the yellow with a black line on it is the neutral in this case. And of course, line 1 and 2 are black and red. So you should not be able to mistake those. But again, as I said before, if you are not an electrician and you don't know enough about electricity, please hire someone. Because these 3 lines here that you're seeing contain 240 volts of electricity and 70 amps. We're talking about a lot. This can fry a human being really quick. And just plug in the front panel with a Wi-Fi module that it connects. Put the panel on, and don't forget to put the little screw on the bottom. Yes, there's a tiny screw there. I mean, you do you. But I like to put that screw there just so it's there, just so I don't forget that. And with that said, we are ready now to hook up the pipes on the plumber's side. So just take those 2 caps. Don't forget the rubbers will be on the caps, so in case you need them. If your pipes don't come with it. And here I'm just putting some plumber's tape or Teflon tape, whatever you want to call it, really quick. And these are just standard 1/2-inch threads. And I'm putting the filter that comes with it, right? Remember when we unpacked? Yep, I'm going to put those filters on. Because, you know, at Wintemp, they knew something when they said put those filters on. So let's better put them on. And I'm going to connect the hot water. Hot, or the outlet, is on the left side, and cold, or the inlet that comes from outside, is on the right side. Just don't forget that. Hand tight for now, and I'm gonna get a channel lock or something to fully tighten them to the end, because of course, if we leave them just like that, that's not gonna be a good New Year's Eve. So, but don't go crazy when you fully tighten them either. It doesn't mean that you have to clip them on and break them. Just go to the point that it makes sense. As you see, at this point it starts making enough sense for me, and I'm good to go. And let's tighten the other side, and we should be pretty much kinda almost ready at this point. I'm just gonna go really quick, open the water, and see if you see any splashes on the wall. And no splashes so far. This one is just something that came with that pipe. So, and the first turn on now will be going on, and the temperature can be adjusted just like with all Wintemps, plus and minus. You can change Fahrenheit and Celsius if you want, but this, if you hold it too long, it will lock it and hold it again for 5 to 7 seconds. to unlock it, so there's no accidental touches. That's it. And you click it again if you want to turn it on. And of course, set the temperature. It goes up to 140, if I'm not wrong, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me just go up to, yep, 140 sharp. And it drops down to whatever you want, 80 or however. The water is quite warm right now anyway because of the temperatures, but pretty much this is it. And in my opinion, it's worth every single penny. And the installation was, as you saw, actually nothing really that hard. So with that said, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.